it is where we got coffee because shit's about to get crazy. I have no idea how this is going to go down. We recorded an episode like a couple of moments ago that was actually pretty heavy, so we thought we needed something light. And here we are with a game of what if, where basically there's fuck all rules. We're just going to ask each other what if scenarios and see what each other would do. Who's going to go first? Would you like to go first, or should I go first?
Yeah, got it. What if Saiki never joined Band-Maid?
Ah, I I personally, I would still really like them. I mean, look, do you know what the best thing is? If Saiki had never joined Band-Maid, we wouldn't know what we were missing, would we? So we'd be good. We'd be like, oh, this is it's a really cool band, really interesting band with a really good lead singer. Oh, she keeps on getting better so quickly. I don't think you know what? I don't think we would mind, but we would also not mind because we wouldn't know what we had lost. Thus, I think, yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Are you satisfied with my answer?
Yeah, that was good. Well played.
All right, okay. What if every single one of the bands who you most love, like all the heavy bands, could only play acoustic guitar moving forwards?
Oh, that's a good one. No, I'm actually quite a big fan of acoustic guitar. A lot of people in my community will know that I was screaming for Band-Maid to play an acoustic set. I said from the beginning, I have always had a fondness for acoustic sets. Don't know what it is, but I really like it. Like Band-Maid set is one of my all-time favorites. Nemaphili's done a few acoustic sets I really enjoy. Nirvana as well, obviously, is legendary for one of their best sets ever being an acoustic set.
So all right, I'm gonna reframe the question then. What if
could I stick
okay.
with it though?
Here's the thing, right? So all the bands you love can only ever play acoustic guitar from now on. They can never play electric guitar again, and you can't replace them with new bands. You've got to stick with the bands you love. They're going to play acoustic bands, or you have to get rid of all of them and start from scratch finding new bands. But now these new bands can play electric. Oh, fuck yeah.
That's hard. That's hard.
That's deep.
Oh, I would think that I would probably stick with them, even though it would be acoustic.
Safe answer.
Yeah, no. Most of the bands that I love, like I said, being like Band-Maid, Love Bites, I think there wouldn't be too much of an issue there. I feel like they would be able to do some really solid acoustic albums, and it would still be top notch, world class. Some of the other bands,
MORPHEUS.
yes, yeah, Unlucky Morpheus would be really good. I think some other bands, maybe like BABYMETAL,
yeah,
might struggle. So I think my tastes in band would probably drastically change. I don't quite know how they would have the same energy or that would translate well to acoustic for them, unless it was a specific song built for acoustic. But I think the girls and the bands that I really like are so talented, so classically trained, even if it wasn't metal, that I still think I would still enjoy it.
You managed to save your brand fantastically there. All right.
Oh, okay. What if there was no J-rock and only growls in Japanese music?
Well, we were trying to keep this positive. If you genuinely want me to go outside and kill myself, then I mean, look, I mean, the thing is that if there was so when you say so there was only like J metal, like growl, scream, J metal.
So there's only screamo J metal. Would you be
allowed to say that word? We're not allowed to say that because I was saying that too much. I'm not allowed to say screamo. Remember that. That was my bad. It's my New Year's thing. I'm not going to say that word. So if there were as mentioned, there are some scream and growl music that I'm okay with, like Pasco. It works for me, partly because of Emily. I really like, and there are some people who do it who I like the way they do it, although it is definitely a very big minority. Like Hannah, I prefer more when they do less of it, but I still don't mind when it's in there. I guess that if it was still used in that manner, like like Passcode use it, like Hannah, yeah, it would take away a lot of the music I love, but there would still be a lot of music I love to enjoy, and it would still be better than what's coming out from the West. So I'd be all right. I would feel the loss. I guess the question is, if you're saying that no one can sing at all, if it's like every single vocal was always scream and growl,
would you go back to Western music?
No, I'd just be like really big into instrumental music. Asterism. Asterism is my new favorite band, but only their original albums. So not since Hauke started suddenly screaming, which in your universe she started doing. Yeah, there you go. So that's my answer. It's like if it was partial, yeah, it would detract from my enjoyment, but it would still be great, and it'd be harder for me to find new artists, but I'd find new artists. And if it was all the time, I'd just become big into instrumental music. All right. I'm going to ask you a classic question. This is one for the ages. This is one that's been asked a few times before. What if you had a button and you could press that button and you would be able to have in front of you right now delivered every CD and album that the bands you like will ever release for the rest of their careers, but there will never be a surprise again. You've got it all. You've got everything they will ever release. Even if the bands exist long after you are due to die in the future and you don't know when that's going to be, you're going to have everything they produce in front of you right now. Would you press that button?
No. All right. Yes, but no. I think for no for the no for the large majority of my life. Let's assume that I live until I'm 80. Yeah. And somehow Love Bites are still fucking going when I'm 80. I seriously doubt that, but you know, let's just say for shits and giggles, they found the secret to immortality. I feel like the thing with music is not only is it like you want to listen to it, but it's about the journey that the band goes on as well. As a fan, the musicians that we love and we come to love, the bands that we love, they evolve over time as well. They change. They start liking new things or wanting to do new things and stuff like that. And the albums change and the sound changes of the band, or they try different directions. And for me, that is half the fun. The journey. I want to listen to the stuff, but I also want to be there to experience it with everybody else when a song drops, you know. I mean, I wouldn't do what I do right now if I couldn't share in the excitement with everybody else.
I think it's genuinely accepted that question only actually has one answer, which is that pretty much anyone would wait for them to come out, because that's just that's obviously the correct answer, because it's the whole
I would wait
journey.
I would wait until my third heart attack and then think I'm probably going to kick the bucket at the next one, and then I would press the button.
I like that you brought age into it, because I didn't think about that. That's a really good point. Like at a certain age, your mind would change on that, and you'd be like, well, look, I want to know, because otherwise I might miss it. That's actually really interesting. But the other thing as well I was thinking is, as a YouTuber, you should just do it so that you have all the music before it comes out, and not just mysteriously you do a reaction like one day before the premiere, and the bands keep on playing. How are you doing this? How do you know? It's like, and then you get arrested for
like just to twist it slightly. That's actually a subject I've actually thought about. Like you know when you have those like stupid long ass nights where you can't sleep and you just like your brain starts thinking about weird obscene things, but for me it was always like it was kind of that same question, but it was about video games. No, I've been quite lucky to be at this day and age where like most video games has evolved over a long period of time and it's become these things. But if I died 10 years ago, like I wouldn't know about any of the great games that have come out since, or the continuation of my favorite franchises. So if there was like a button for something like that, I would want to continue. And like
that's the weird thing about death, is it's exactly the same as before you were born. I mean, you don't experience that, and you don't experience what was, but it's just the same thing. You just go back to that. But I do agree that for me, like I love like science stuff as well as music. I love science stuff. And it really breaks my heart when I hear about like these like space missions that I'm super excited about, and they say, "Oh, it'll be launching in like 2038, and then it'll take like 10 years to get there, and 10 years to get back." So I'm gonna be fucking dead by the time we get
dead by the time that happens.
And it's so this is one of the reasons why I've cleaned up a lot of my health stuff, is just because I want to see what happens. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, back onto the subject. I think it's your turn.
Oh yeah. Okay. What if ex-Japan were all female?
What's your angle on this? Okay.
Right, because ex-Japan is obviously a legendary band, and the demographic
the same music.
Pardon?
Are you asking about my opinion, or are you asking about what the world would be?
Both, really. I'd like to see both reception, because I have this. I don't know if it's just the circles me and you hang around in, but there seems to be more fans for female all groups like Love Bites, Baby Metal, and stuff like. I don't really see a lot of love for all male Japanese bands. So I'm just thinking, would ex Japans,
Okay.
what if they were female? Would they be more popular than they are now?
I mean, this is a broad question. So from the perspective of the industry, I mean, you could argue that anyway. I would say that part of what them made popular in a similar way to how like groups like shit, I can't remember what they're called now. The ones who kind of started the whole visual K thing. Well, they're really big in the visual K thing. Malice Miser. In the same way, they were really big because, believe it or not, they really connected with young Japanese women. They had like massive female followings, even though they dressed in dresses. The thing is they had a massive, and I wasn't there at the time, but I think the X Japan's fame was built partly on, whereas the guys were listening to girl bands, like the girls were listening to X Japan because they were like the hot guys, but the guys were also listening to X Japan because they were rock. So I think if anything, actually it benefited them to be male. I don't know if they'd been a female band at the time. I don't know if it would have had the same resonance. I don't know if they would have, because as well, this is going back a little bit where again the stereotypes are a bit stronger. Rock was associated with male swag. You had bands like Shoya and stuff like that, but again, they're nowhere near as famous. Are they better or worse? That's commercially, they're probably commercially less viable. But you see my point. It's very hard to measure, but I think that being male probably benefited X Japan. From my perspective, personally, well, not benefited them, but I think it was it was the optimal position. From my position personally, I don't think I'd really give a shit because, to be honest, I've said this before. I don't dislike X Japan. I actually quite respect them, but I totally understand why they're as famous as they are. It's not really my thing. It doesn't connect. For me, it's a period where Japanese rock certainly had its identity, but not in the way it does now, where it's this totally standalone thing where you can just see night and day. It's like, yeah, it has its clear connections to Western rock, but it has some very night and day stuff as well. For me, X Japan was going back to an era where there was much more of a link. It was much more similar. It was much more the first steps. It never really appealed to me as much, but so I respect it, but I wouldn't really care either way because I don't remember the last time I actually sat down and went, I want to listen to X Japan. If they had a female vocalist, I did a whole video about why I prefer female vocals, so I guess that would be an aspect of it. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it wouldn't affect me, and I think to be honest, if they were women, I think. Whereas now it would probably be beneficial. Back in the day, I think it would have actually been detrimental.
You see, the reason why I picked X Japan for that question is because I feel like if I would have flipped that to like if Baby Metal were male, I feel the answer is pretty obvious. I think you'd have a more of a strong opinion on this. Whereas if I flipped it the other way to a more popular male band, I feel like the answer's more.
I don't know if I really want to watch three dudes like working out on stage.
I mean, Lady Baby's been making a killing off that.
No, only one iteration of them. They've moved on very strongly. All right. Here's a question.
Well,
this one's a mean one. What if you could have all the band merch you wanted, but the band wouldn't get a penny for any of it?
I still wouldn't. Oh no, I wouldn't take the merch.
I love it. You're being such a good guy at this. I loved it. You were coming across as like the moral high ground. I love it.
I mean that's my thing anyway. Anybody, again, I have plenty of people in the chat that can vouch for me for this one, but I love merch at gigs. I don't know what it is. Buying merch at gigs is like for the last like 20 years of my life has been my favorite thing to do. I love collecting shirts at the gigs I go to. I've got a fucking drawer just full of shirts from gigs.
The best merch isn't even made by the bands half the time.
Yeah. Well, that's another good thing as well. I got such good like souvenirs and stuff. I got so many stickers again from like Paul that I met. I showed this before. But this is one of my favorite things, and this was given to me by by Skrillex, and this is just basically, I don't know if the camera will
Oh
pick it
yeah,
up.
yeah. The little
The little Sue Sweets.
I'm so glad they
I
haven't
cannot
rotted
bring
yet.
myself to eat them. They are just on my shelf on display just because it's so nice. So they're just there. So yeah, so some of the fans' interaction and buying it is great. What I would love to say is I would love the demographic, I think, for buying shirts has vastly changed. Thankfully, me and you are old enough to come from a day and age where me and you probably go to gigs was before the digital dominance or before iTunes and shit became a thing properly. So we lived in a day and age where we could go in and we could buy a band shirt for like a fucking tenner. You can't do that anymore. You know, shirts go for like 40, 50 fucking quid now.
I'm
And
glad
that's just
that isn't the case in Japan. Like, I mean, maybe at like bigger band gigs, maybe I'm missing something, but as a general, they're usually like 3,000, 4,000 for a big gig.
oh,
Usually,
they're
that's
extortionate.
yen,
I
so
believe
that's like
I believe the baby metal shirts were like 40,
30
50
quid.
quid, 40 quid, like not even 30 quid anymore. 30 quid, I'd be like, that's expensive, but I can tolerate that. They were like 40, 50 quid for a shirt, and it's mental. For the hoodies, you're talking about like 70, 80 pound.
Yeah, now I kind of get more because like hoodies. I mean, fuck, it's all fabric, but I mean hoodies. There's like several layers to them. You've got like an inner layer, outer layer. They got thick and
Still, it costs the band like 50p to make, you know.
Yeah, that's what those Chinese sweatshops are for. I mean, come on. All right. You've been the good man again. I think I'd fall back on a little bit of that fan merch, which is great. They tend to make great stuff. Plus, also, you know, I mean, like, I don't really want like tons of merch. I just want a shirt to wear in like a video so people can see the bands who I'm supporting right now. So yeah. All right, cool. Good answer. I like it. You're winning these moral high grounds. I'm all about that.
I have the high ground, Anakin.
Hey, don't be chopping my legs off. Excuse me. I got a Star Wars reference.
You got up in my books. Okay, here's one. What if, this is a personal one, what if you never moved to Japan?
I mean, that is personal. I'd be monstrously depressed, probably. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people to sulk. I would find a way. I mean, there's so many things for that. I mean, for a start, I had started dabbling with YouTube before I came out because this all spawned from a podcast I was doing with James when I was in the UK, and then when I moved to Japan, that developed into a radio show that we did as a serial thing, recorded it in episodes and sent it to the radio station because that was easier for us to do. So I guess this channel would have happened in some way, although it would probably have been very different, and the lack of access to Japan would have shaped it quite a lot as well. Probably wouldn't have been able to forge the identity and the connections that I wanted.
This is actually a good segue because your old channel popped up on my feed the other day. I thought that was gone for good.
Oh, do you mean the back of breakdown?
Yeah, back of breakdown.
Yeah. Like that one came back, but I don't want to confuse people. It's like they unblocked that about 2 years ago, but I just put a video on there saying, "Hi, remember we got a new channel now." But yeah, the truth is that I would have probably done a lot of the same things, but I would have been nowhere. I mean, I left UK as much as I went to Japan. I mean, I came to Japan because it's where I wanted to be, but I left the UK because I was just very unhappy there. And I'd really tried. You know, I'd had a partner, I'd had a home, I had a decent job and everything, and I'd really tried to be happy there, but I just wasn't. And a lot of it came down to the fact that, no offense to British people, but just the way British society works, I fucking despise it. I really don't like it. And I always say this to people who are like, "Oh, Japan must be great. You should show me around Japan." I always say to them, "It's like, don't think that because I like Japan, you will like it. People people swim in different ponds, and this pond works for me. It might not work for you. In the UK, some of my favorite people live in the UK, yourself included. They have wonderful lives there, but it doesn't click for me. It does not click. I know that's where I am. I can't so I'm not going to say, "Oh, I'm Japanese," because I'm not. But I mean, I fit here. This works for me. Everything feels right here. It doesn't feel right there. So yeah, I think I would be miserable if I was still in the UK. But I'm glad I'm not. So I'd probably still be doing this, but I just wouldn't be as happy. So there we go.
Go on, hit me. That went from like happy to depressing really quickly.
All right. So So I'm gonna hit. Can I pull out the big guns on this?
Yeah,
one?
yeah. Go for it. Go for it. Ask me anything. I'm up for it.
You're gonna regret saying that.
Oh God.
You're gonna.
Go on.
What if Momoko left, Yui could come back?
Ooh.
Fucking did it right there, didn't I?
That's a hard one. That kind of goes back to what the Saiki didn't join thing,
I
because
know my answer. I think everyone already knows what my answer would be to this one, but I'm going to put you in a bit of pressure on this one.
All right, so this one is a little bit like I'm going to be a little. I'm not going to take the moral high ground for this one. I'm gonna be a selfish bastard.
Good, good. That's what I want. Get to the darkness inside.
I would love if Yui had the potential to come back and she replaced Momoko. For me personally, I would really like that, purely because I discovered BABYMETAL when unfortunately Yui had already left. I missed that completely. So for my own personal selfish reasons, I would love the original Trinity to reunite just so I could experience that. For something I am never going to be able to experience in my lifetime. And like that ship has sailed, it's gone. The opportunity had passed me by. So for my own selfish reasons, just to say that I could have physically saw them live together, I would say I would love to bring her back. But you know,
I'm gonna dive in because I feel a little bit like I've thrown you to the wolves on this one. I'm gonna just quickly dive in and say I think probably people already know my answer on this one. Although I would love to see Yui back, I think
Yui time is gone. Like it's past.
Yeah,
like
I feel like I'm excited right now. I'm excited about the future. Now, it could be that the new album comes out with Morocco and it's a load of shit, and we're like, oh fuck, we missed the old days. It could be, but I don't know. Change is good. I feel like we had a really great run with Yui, and it would be nice if she never left. But the truth is that after she did leave, it's like now I'm just excited to see, okay, does that mean the future will be different? Because for me, BABYMETAL is quintessentially about change. It's about experimentation. So
I don't want Momoko to go. I'm really excited to see what Momoko brings. Really excited for the new album. And I wouldn't want to change it for the world. But again, for my own personal selfish reasons, I would love to see one show with Yui on there, just so I can say I saw Yui. And that just comes down to my own.
To one side with just one tear drops down her face. She's
Imagine
her standing, looking at the camera in the background. She's like to the side of the stage. In the background is everyone performing, looking the other way, and she's just there, and one tear drops.
Oh,
and she says,
"You're making me feel bad now."
And she says, "Are you happy, Neon?" And that's.
And I'd be like,
I wonder how many people right now are typing
furiously. You've shafted me on this one.
Hey, fuck! I needed something for the thumbnail. What can I say?
I know. Like I said, I love Momoko. I wouldn't change it for the world. But again, purely selfish reason. I've taken the moral high ground for all the ones so far, so I'm gonna be a little bit stubborn on this one.
He finally stepped down to the ladder just to give Momoko a good kicking. Anyway,
got to kick her while she's down.
Oh no!
I'm watching my subscriber numbers go bing, ding, 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 ding,
it's like there was no answer you could give that was going to save the ship on that one. That was a sinking ship either way. I was like, do I want the holes in the left or the right end of the ship? Anyway.
All right, okay.
All right, go on.
What if?
Oh fuck!
Band-Maid.
Oh fuck! You're trying to fire back now. Okay, I get this. I know where it's going.
Yeah, no. What if Band-Maid only did? No, actually, I'm going to change it. Actually, what if Band-Maid and should we say? Oh, what's another band? I'm trying to think of like the most.
Hate, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something like the most disjointed thing.
You want to think like Broken by the Scream or something?
Oh, there we go. That's a great one. What if Band-Maid and Broken by the Scream merged?
Do you mean like permanently merged?
Permanently merged, became its own band.
Broken
by the Maid.
The name writes itself. Broken Band-Maid. I said this before, like with Broken by the Scream, I like them as people. Just the music to me sounds like an absolute mess. Although Benedict played me some of the more recent stuff, and it is better now. But
They've
it just doesn't
mellowed
work
out
for
a
me.
lot recently. Like I said this
It's not
before.
that they've mellowed out. It just seems their songs are coherent now. It seems like they actually have like a some sort of fucking direction. But the thing is that like, you see, if that happened to me, it would be. I mean, so I guess I would have to accept it. I'd have to be like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do to stop it. I mean, theoretically, I would try, but I mean, there's nothing I can do to stop it. So I'd be, okay, this is going to happen. And assuming it's a complete merger, yeah, everything just mixing together. I would be hopeful that basically what we would get is basically Band-Maid, but with the screams and growls thrown in over top. I mean, in a world of perfection, they wouldn't even be that. But the thing is that I would just hope, okay, well, Band-Maid, they've still got Konami, so hopefully they're going to take the lead writing. It will just be Band-Maid, but a bit heavier. Okay, I can deal with that. But of course, I think this is the bit where we were talking about proper fans the other day. I think this is where being a proper fan is important. And I think this also goes back to the question about being with BABYMETAL, with the whole, we were talking obviously joking about BABYMETAL changes. If Band-Maid went through a change like that, and basically the question is, what if Band-Maid started releasing music that I just didn't like? And the ghost of the original Band-Maid was there, but it just was music I didn't like anymore. And my response to that would basically be, well, I'd just say I don't like it. I wouldn't listen to it as much, and my fandom would probably wane. I'd still have the albums that I liked before. I'd still love them as people. I'd still be wishing the best every time an album came out. But I'd be honest and I'd say this new stuff sucks. And so in the same way that, we talk about like,
there you go. You heard it here first, guys. Howard says Band-Maid sucks.
I said this new stuff where they merge with Broken by the Scream.
There you go. Band-Maid's new stuff sucks. Exclusive.
Hey. Just call Momoko and see how she feels, motherfucker. Yeah, no, it's it is, but I think it's important to say that because it is true that the best fans, and this is where I'm going to do what you did and play the angle where I turn it into a moral high ground moment. See what I do here. The true fans are the ones who love a group because they see them objectively. They see them, they recognize what they like and what they don't like. They know when a song maybe isn't as much their liking. They reason everything they hear and they still love it. And that's why I am a Band-Maid fan, which is why if they suddenly started releasing songs or just their entire career became them and Broken by the Scream, as a genuine fan who reasons my love for them, the things that I love would be trampled upon, and therefore my love of the band would not diminish, but my enjoyment of the music perhaps would, and thus I would have to admit that my fandom would decrease, although my passion for their success would remain. There's a word salad, but I got away with it. Oh my God.
Well played.
All right. What if all right. What if Unlucky Morpheus? I know you're Unlucky Morpheus fan.
No.
What
Can't make me trash Unlucky Morpheus and Band-Maid in one video, and BABYMETAL in one video.
What if Unlucky Morpheus lost Fuki and picked up Taka from 1OK Rock, and then 1OK Rock picked up Fuki?
Ooh. That's an interesting one. I feel like that's probably the same thing you just said. I would still appreciate Unlucky Morpheus, because I really, really like the music that they got. Although Fuki is quintessentially Unlucky Morpheus, I can't envision.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm gonna edit the question because the stakes are not high enough. Okay.
Oh, go on.
Here's the thing. So Fuki goes to 1OK Rock. Taka goes to Unlucky Morpheus. But before hearing a single song, you have to decide one of the bands that you are never going to listen to again.
Oh.
Yes. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Stakes for. You have to decide in advance, man. Oh.
Um,
Play the numbers game. If you want to do it safe, play the numbers game.
oh, Jesus Christ. All right, okay, so this is probably not the answer people want to hear, but I love Unlucky Morpheus.
There's a butt coming.
There's a bot coming, but I'm also a huge Fuki simp. I absolutely I love Fuki. And it's not just Unlucky Morpheus that I like with what she does, all of her other bands as well. I absolutely freaking love them.
You're big into her solo stuff, aren't you, as well?
Yeah, I love her solo stuff, which again, I love her other bands and stuff like that. So as much as it pains me to probably say, I would probably follow the OK Rock. Would I love it as much as Unlucky Morpheus? Probably not. Unlucky Morpheus and Fuki for me is like the pinnacle of her career at the minute, and I just love it. Like even her solo stuff now sounds like Unlucky Morpheus. Pretty much is Unlucky Morpheus, I think.
Does, yeah.
So I feel like she's reached the best part of her career. So it would kill me to go to OK Rock and see just her talent absolutely battered.
It's painful, isn't it?
It's very painful.
She's going to play a lot of songs where the bassist and the guitarist play the same thing, and there's 4 chords in every chorus.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Excited.
You know what? Like I wince at it, but I know that she would fucking slay it as well.
I am going to specify we're talking about modern One OK Rock, not the old
Oh,
One OK Rock, which is actually pretty decent. We're talking about modern, we want to sound like Nickelback One OK Rock.
I love how you keep like shifting and making this grave fucking deeper with everything you say.
I need to push you down into that place with your 20,000 subscribers. 25,000. I apologize.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, I probably would still follow Fuki if I couldn't listen to them. In an ideal world, if that happened, I probably would still listen to Unlucky Morpheus. Would I enjoy them as much? Ooh, probably debatable because I don't think Taka has anywhere near the range Fuki does. And when you say that, it just screams like massive mismatch in my mind. I struggle to even comprehend it, to be honest. But yeah, I probably would follow Fuki, just because I like everything that she's done in her career so far. And I don't think she's really put a foot wrong. And if she went to OK Rock and won OK Rock and she was a lead singer, you know what? She'd probably fucking kill it, and it would probably be 20 million times better than the shit we get now. So, so so I'd follow Fuki. I adore her.
That's a good one. I like that. That's a fair answer. To be honest, I would play it safe on that one. I'd just go for the simpler. I'd go for the numbers game, and I'd go for Unlucky Morpheus because more of the members are there. And I love Fuki too, but probably,
I don't think
I'd say Unlucky Morpheus, and plus I like the writing. So
Unlucky Morpheus to me would, like you said, if Taka was at least, I just
but I forgot about that. Taka will be in there.
Yeah, you would be a member, and like would it be?
The next question? I don't want to answer your question. Your question's horrible. Ask me a question. Fuck it. That's no.
Yeah, that's the horrible thing. We got a little bit of time left.
I just ended up on the receiving end of one of my own questions, and I don't like it.
All right, I know.
Right, go for it.
We got a little bit of time left. Oh, okay. What if?
Okay.
Okay, I got to think of something quick. What if Japanese music only existed to be associated with anime? So Japanese music doesn't exist in any form, only for introductions to animes. Would you still be into it?
So just the same as now.
Yeah, but a much more minimalized scale.
I'm joking. Yeah, I think
I was worried about my 20,000 subscribers. We just saw Howard's 1,000.
I ain't got any subscribers to lose. It's fine. Sorry, it's all 5 of them are fine. So like I think
me unsubscribe, make it 4.
I think that's more of a general like a social question, because I think what would gnarl me out a little bit is what we were talking about the other day, where basically Japanese music would be referred to as anime music, and then it would be anime music. So it would annoy me a little bit that it would take on this like heavy association with anime if every song had to be a theme tune. It also annoy me that it would obviously slow down the production of music, because the production of music would have to be dependent upon animes coming out. So then I would be there Like just like I'd probably be looking as much for animes to come out, and I'd be like, it'd be like like voting. It's like, oh, an anime's coming out. I was like, come on, please, please, like associate it with Trident. Just call Trident. Trident haven't had an anime. They haven't been able to put out a song because they're waiting for an anime. So Trident want to release this song, but they can't because no one's given them an anime to make it the theme tune of. So yeah, I think it would start becoming like we'd live in this dystopian future where all of us music fans would be hanging around outside animation studios like, release the fuck, I don't give a damn about the storyline. Just draw some stick men and fucking release it. I need this song. Give me the theme tune. I want to see Stickman Wars Part 18. Just fucking release it. Yeah, that's what it becomes.
Stickman Wars Part 18. Below it.
Fuck the shading, fuck the voice acting, get AI to do it. I just need to hear the theme tune. Yeah, so I think it would become like that. I can imagine. This actually sounds like some hellish dystopian future like movie that you've described. Yeah, actually, the more I flesh out this idea, the more horrifying it is. But yeah, I would basically just be so obsessed with that, and that would be my thing moving forward. Would be I'd be like,
you'd be living in James's basement.
Yeah, like James would return to this channel super fucking quick, man. As like 90% of this channel would be like him talking about anime again. I'd be like, dude, can we talk about the theme tunes? He's like, you all belong to my industry now. It's like, us music people would like to talk too, James. It's like, yeah. With his extensive knowledge of anime. What a bastard. Yeah. So I think that would be yeah, I think also
it's a scary thought, that, isn't it?
It's interesting because I don't really talk about, because we've had this conversation before about how you introduce Western people to Japanese music, and I don't really do that because half the time it's a waste of time. You know, sometimes they'll like it, but if they don't find it on their own, it's like throwing good music, it doesn't work. So the thing is that I think a lot of people get annoyed when they hear, you know, Western people or Western friends saying, "Oh, are you into anime music?" And that's what it is. That what it is by Japanese music. That doesn't really bother me because I don't really talk to Western people about my Japanese taste, except for people who are already in the community and who are already into it. Yeah. You know, so as a result, yeah, the only time I talk to people who don't know it is when it's through my videos and they're finding it through my videos, in which case they're hearing something I pre-recorded, I've written, which hopefully makes them like it. So it doesn't really bother me because I don't get to hear that kind of uninformed feedback, so I wouldn't be so bothered about that. But yes, it would bother me because it would slow down the release process. Anyway, as Zoom is telling us we've only got 2.5 minutes left.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got time for another one, but so I'm just.
This is like a horror episode. Jesus, it's supposed to be uplifting.
This is heavy shit. So if you guys, if you want us, if at home you want us to do more of these, or if you want to pose questions for us, actually I'll tell you what, don't pose questions in the comments. What I want you to do.
Give us what if examples.
If you're on our Discords, I mean, answer what you would say to these questions. If you're on our Discords, DM me and DM Neon questions to ask each other if we do a sequel. So send questions to Neon that you want him to ask me for a next what if, and say, and maybe if you've got ones for Benedict as well, because hopefully we can draw Benedict into this as well. Get Benedict involved. So don't post the questions so we don't see them in advance. Give us good ones to catch the other person out. Anyway,
so what if you all liked and commented on this video and subscribed? That would be a really good what if future, and hopefully we'll find out.
So, talking of cheesy things to say, I was about to say, what if you had to do the outro for this video?
Oh, what if I did? Oh, I don't know. Let's find out, shall we?
Yay!
3, 2, the East.
That's one of those really bad what if questions that I shouldn't have asked.
Yeah.